Music Fashion Film has finally arrived. Charli XCX's new album. I don't think I was expecting a single Charli album this year, let alone two, and she has been working super hard off the back of Brat, delivers Music Fashion Film, the follow-up to Wuthering Heights, which was the follow-up to Brat. That means we've gotten like 3 albums in around 2 years, and there was also the phenomenon of Brat as well. I think that it is super impressive how much material we've got from her, and I'm excited to dive into this and react with you guys. You might have seen that I interviewed her a couple of weeks ago, and that featured on the podcast. It was a super interesting chat for me, just personally, to hear a little bit into her process and what went into this album, and we'll discuss that throughout listening to it as well. I have to put a caveat here that I have heard the album before, but it's been a couple of weeks since then, so this is kind of me coming at it with fresh ears, but it won't be totally new to me. With that said though, let's get into reacting to Music Fashion Film. If you like reactions just like these, or you want to follow the podcast, you should hit subscribe to my channel so we can build those followers. Otherwise, let's get straight into it. Track number 1, Rock Music.
Me and my friends.
I liked this song instantly. It just clicked with me straight away. I know that it's been a difficult one for some people to get their head around, but I really like it. It's the thesis statement of the album, yeah. It's about just feeling that inspiration flooding through you and finding the greatest joy in creating with your friends. I know that sounds like a simple concept, but sometimes you can be straight up with what you're saying and intentional, and it can hit.
Wow, I'm really hurting my neck.
Okay, we need to talk about that line because it's one of my favorites on the whole album, actually. I think that it's super interesting because I think that Charli toes this really fine line between pleasure and pain, which I think is obviously part of the human experience as well. But with this neck damage thing, she feels so liberated and free on stage when she's thrashing her head around, but it's actually causing her physical damage and distress, sometimes not enough to stop her from doing that. And it feeds into how she views her art as well, where she knows that this constant drive to create and sort of be a workhorse for her art sometimes comes off as selfish or painful for those around her, but it is also the ultimate form of expression for her and the ultimate form of pleasure as well. And that duality, I think, really threads through this album really well, and particularly in that line there. The controversial line, the dance floor is dead. Only 2 minutes, just straight in, short, hard, and fast onto season SS26, track number 2.
Spring, summer, 26, nothing's gonna save us.
This brings in I don't know, a bigger worldview of the things that she's talking about in rock music, and that is indulging in these practices that are ultimately maybe hurting the earth, selfish. Not only hurting the earth, but maybe hurting yourself as well. I love that guitar in the background there. I've actually found it super fascinating this era to hear her talk about her heritage. I feel like it's something that she hasn't brought up a lot throughout her career. And particularly in this song, talk about how it could have been a marketing dot point at some time, and it's something that she's really shied away from. That silence is really effective there. This form of singing and writing is something that's relatively new to Charli. It's something that she really tapped into on I Think About It All the Time on Brat, and mine's much deeper into it here, and I really like it. Love this kind of eerie calm that runs through the chorus here. beautifully produced, this one. This was my favorite single for a while. It might have switched to something else that we'll talk about later. This is track number 3, Card Declined. This one's like so gritty. Like maybe one of the like toughest songs that she's ever done. It's like so alarming. But then like even though she's switched up and she's doing like more of this rock thing, this like vocal production right there is very Charli, very like pop 2s. Just thematically so far, like this is making a lot of sense because this song's essentially about like using materialism and like shopping and that kind of thing to try and like boost your serotonin, I guess, and ultimately like getting nowhere in the end. I love this. See, this like kind of vocal work is a Charli that's like very reminiscent of like self-titled and pop 2. And I really like the mix of the like really gritty grinding guitars there, and then her voice is quite soft and sweet in there. This is still Card Declined, by the way.
I keep thinking about you every single day. Thinking about you every single day. I keep thinking about you every single night. Every single day and night.
Alright, this is track number 4, Camera. This is a single that dropped this week.
It makes me wanna throw my life away. All the music, all the people. Not a single kiss goodbye. Talking about the ones on the pavement. Cause that look, it's a bullet. Do I wanna make music? Am I being fucking stupid?
That's a really important line to the album. Like, do I want to make music? Am I being fucking stupid? Like, it kind of comes up a little bit, and I think about it all the time as well, when she says, like, I had the conversation on the way home, should I stop my birth control because my career feels so small in the existential scheme of it all? And just like this constant feeling that what she's doing is like a little bit silly, and like making music, performing to the camera, like that side of it kind of feels almost like futile. But the flip side of it is she connects with a lot of people on this. She gets her ultimate form of self-expression, a lot of her happiness from it. It's just like this constant balancing act.
But if I try to be a girl on the screen when I'm turning 34, but all I know
And
is
the age of it as well, I think, is important.
it makes me feel.
I love that chorus. It might be my favorite chorus of all the singles.
It makes me
Maybe
wanna
not.
throw my life away, 'cause I feel different on the mark. Something new and undiscovered. 'Cause all I know is how
It's like interesting how this song can kind of relate to anybody, because obviously it's very like singular to her experience of being a pop star, and I don't think like many of us can relate to that feeling of being a pop star. But like even in what I'm doing, like it can often feel quite embarrassing and silly to be like sitting here talking to a camera. But then when that feeling like really gets beneath you of like how it feels to sort of like express yourself and connect with people and talk to people, that feeling kind of disappears.
it makes me feel. Yeah, it makes me feel how it makes me feel. Yeah, it makes me feel how it makes me feel.
I love those like dreamy sort of AG synths in the background there.
I can be anything I wanna be, and I can feel the things I don't normally feel. It's
I know
like
that
I'm
some
looking
people
down
can
the
find
barrel
this
of a
like
gun.
sort of style of singing and lyricism almost annoying, but I find there's something really endearing and pure about it. There is like using that form of expression as a way of like stepping into somebody and avoiding the realities of what's actually going on in your personal life, I guess. Not that I know anything about her personal life, but like there is something about the escapism of being a pop star, I imagine, that allows you to turn your back on a lot of other things. I really like that one. Track number 5, 2007.
I can take you to heaven like kids, 2007. Pop star in my bedroom like kids, 2007. I can take you to heaven like kids, 2007.
Love this melody.
Pop like kids, 2007.
And here she is just fully stepping into the persona that she wrestles with on camera. Like, camera is on in this song. See, I feel like rock music was almost a red herring in that it felt like she was going to stray so far away from what she's done in the past. But songs like this, like, they do have organic instrumentation, but they are really like in line with what she's done in the past, I think. Like, this has quite a pop to melodic structure / vocal style to it. The only problem with this song is that it disappears too quickly. That's not a criticism I have for much of the album, because I really like the short, hard, fast nature of it. But I'd love another verse here. I really like that one. I think that the melody on that one is one of the strongest on the albums. This is track number 6, I'm afraid. This one's dark as hell. Being able to just call that out straight away, being insecure as a pop artist, is difficult. The ideas like presented on this are so knotty, like being with a person who makes you feel extremely secure, but then having this thought that like your entire identity is attached to them in some way, and being able to call it out in a song is even more crazy. I'm sorry to keep stopping it, but like I have to get it out so my insides don't turn black. That feels like the very essence of this album. Like, it had to come out. I feel like there's been albums throughout her career that feel like they've been more conceptual and they've been rolled out in a slower manner. Things like Crash, things like Self-Titled, and even Brat, actually. But this one feels like it needed to just like rush out of her. How I'm Feeling Now, Pop 2 are the sister records to this.
Makes me believe I'm a better artist now. An excuse I tell myself.
That's an important line too.
I'm a wife, I'm a kid, I'm afraid I'm nothing without him. What if I ruin it? Take the ring, I'm afraid I'm nothing without him. What if I ruin it?
I love this one. Track number 7, yeah. Okay, so I've heard this song twice, just full disclosure. The first time I was like, what is going on? The second time, I was right in it.
Wait, now I wanna feel it.
In many ways, it's her like Blur song too.
Yeah.
I feel like Charli gets called out all the time online, or kind of like memed, for the repetition of her lyrics, particularly with songs like I Got It. But repetition can be incredibly effective when you do it well. It can almost drill into your brain, and this is what it feels like here. And the fact of just like repeat, and then just like foot on the accelerator for this chorus feels like the ultimate exhale.
Yeah. Now I wanna feel it.
These kind of songs help me understand the pace of the album in it being quite short and hard. Because it just feels like this rush of like emotion. There's so many different emotions that run through this, like rush of anger, sadness, serotonin. This one feels like pure adrenaline. It just like hits and then it's gone. And I like that nature of it. This is track number 8, Wink Wink.
I used to lick cream of strawberries in the summer. Maybe I fucked your dad.
This, I think, is my favorite single. This is like up there in the Charli like classics. I think with Camera, this was important too, but like Wink Wink and the next song, all about like wrestling with persona, how you're perceived by other people, who you really are, whether that feeds into who you really are. This is like where the kind of talk singing is the most effective in the verses on Wink Wink.
My friend Rostam told me I dress like a star.
Like.
So no, you don't think you could be an angel girl. No, you don't get me. No, you don't.
And part of Charli's whole persona is like Wink Wink. It is tongue-in-cheek. Part of being a fan is like realizing when she's being provocative, poking the bear a little bit, which I think she does on rock music, and realizing when she's being totally genuine, and realizing when those lines blur. That one too is just so quick. It just comes like a rush. Track number 9, Persona. So in the listening session for the album, she said that this wasn't about anybody in particular, that it feels quite pointed. Love the production on this one, so dirty. This is kind of like the Sympathy is a Knife of music fashion film. It's a good line. People are going to find these verses quite difficult. I think they're quite naughty, but I like the sludginess of this song. Charli's best friends, like at this point, are not safe at all. Whenever she drops an album, they need to be on high alert. Really like jarring, this song. It feels like teeth like crunching together. This is track number 10, Magic Metal Montana. This one's for AG Korg. And I just love that she's able to write this earnestly about friendships. It's something that like doesn't get expressed enough within pop music. I mean, that line is like bittersweet for many reasons. Obviously, So I Off Brat was dedicated to Sophie and her relationship with her, like working with her, but also like some of the regrets that she had. And the fact that she's able to like make this song for A.G. Cook and like him be around to hear it and receive it, I think is quite a beautiful flip side. One of the most successful artist-producer duos of our time, I think, AG and Charli. And this is another huge part of this album about how the comfort with her collaborators makes it easier for her to find inspiration to say things that, like, I think other pop artists would have difficulty saying with confidence. I want to see, like, when she took these lyrics to AG and then him having to, like, produce this song. I saw just the other day that she had plans at one point to write an album called Best Friends, with each song dedicated to a new friend. I'm, like, very interested in that. I don't think friendship is explored enough within pop. This is track number 11, the final song, No One Lasts Forever. I told you, short, hard and fast. This is one of the songs where she really reacts to the experience of Brat.
Everyone thinks I've got a problem, since everyone knows my name, that I'll put the drugs in my veins. So now I'm sitting on the floor of the Parisian.
It's a great line given the narratives around her. This song, like, really hits me about art being kind of, like, transient and the idea of being, like, really protective of your ideas. It's like, we'll talk about this more when the, like, monologue comes in at the end of the song, but the idea of this album is just, like, when things hit and you feel the inspiration, there's nothing wrong with, like, getting it out there, putting yourself out there if it feels good to you, because ultimately, like, legacy only protects you once you're gone. So, like, it's kind of what you do now and how that feels to you in that moment that is the most important thing. And I was interested in this when I interviewed her because I asked did she ever think about the legacy of Brat and how she could protect it. And it was very clear that that has not really been a concern of hers.
But you need to discover that feeling of the crushing highs and lows of ego, where 1 minute you know you're the worst, and the next minute you know you're better than everyone in the room. But nothing's gonna last forever.
It feels like a dark, somewhat like existential statement, but it's actually, like, really freeing.
As I was lying there on the sidewalk, I did not think about art.
This is David
at all.
Cronenberg.
I thought about people, I thought about life.
It's about an experience he had where he actually collapsed on the
that's why I like
sidewalk
being close to my
and
house
thought he
somehow.
was gonna
It was
die.
comforting, even though it makes no sense, you know. But no, we can talk about immortal artists of various kinds, and it's fantastic. But experientially, for them, they are dead. They are gone.
That line is so good, poignant, and something that we don't talk about enough is what I was saying before, is that, like, legacy is for after you're gone, essentially. And that's important to some people. But experientially, you are not there for that. It's
They're
just
not
like,
experiencing that. These are true things.
we'll talk about it
And
after.
Thank goodness for them. They are dead. They are gone. No one lasts forever. They are dead. They are gone.
Oblivion
No one
is
lasts
freedom
forever.
is
They are
so
dead.
good.
They are gone. They are dead. They are gone. No one lasts forever. They are dead. They are gone. No one lasts
Haunting.
forever. They are dead. They are gone. No one lasts forever. No one lasts forever. They are dead. They are gone.
So
No one lasts
creepy.
forever. They are dead. They are gone. No one lasts forever. They are dead. They are gone. No one lasts forever. They are dead.
It's such a good closer, and it just does such a good job at explaining why this album exists. Like, coming off the back of Brat, I think that Charli could have spent years, like, orchestrating this album and working with, like, the best people and just like really overthinking the process and making sure that she was doing the right things career-wise to like continue this incredible trajectory that she's had. And instead she went the total opposite way and just totally worked on impulse. And like this album covers the upsides and the downsides of just living your life based on impulse, and the fact that it can appear selfish to other people. It can be a painful experience for you to go through, to kind of like sit in these uncomfortable moments that maybe you don't want to unpack straight away. But the upside to it is like, it's the ultimate form of expression. It's the reason that she's in this. It's the reason that people have connected to her so much, because of her honesty and because of her art. And I think to like just have an artist that is willing to do this, there are a couple, only a few that I can think of that would respond to a moment like Brat in this way. There's almost no one who would come through with 2 albums like in 1 year that are just so exceptionally different to anything that was on Brat. I mean, sonically, I think that lyrically, there are some seeds that were planted on Brat that are explored like even more fruitfully here. But I just think that's really cool to have an artist that will do that. And this will be jarring for some people. It is a jarring record. It's quite short. It just kind of hits you straight away and then it disappears. And I think that's the point of it. But even for myself listening, like there are moments that I talked about where I would have liked it like fleshed out a little bit more. 2007 would be nice to hear a little bit more on top of it. I even feel like, yeah, she could have gone even harder at the end. But then I think about that and I'm like, but is that just against what the very existence of this album is, which is meant to be like just almost a vomit of thoughts and sounds? That sounds terrible. It's not a vomit, but you know, it's just like feels like it needs to come, and then you need to like cleanse it from your system and move on. And that's kind of exactly what music, fashion, film feels like, as well as being a love letter to art and the feeling of making art, and also the feeling of comfort that collaborators can and community and friends can bring you as well. And I think that's a really beautiful thing. That's music, fashion, film. I'm really interested to know what your thoughts are on it. Let me know in the comments down below. And you should go and watch my interview with Charli if you want some more explanation on what music, fashion, film is about. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.